the Upanishads, there are 4 aspects, what we call as Anubandha Chatustaya. The 4 aspects for learning Vedanta, you can say, but more importantly, Upanishads. So the first one of that is Vishaya, understanding what is the subject matter we are dealing with. The topic or the discussion, what is it about? Is this about learning some yoga? Is it about learning some some Sanskrit? So the first one is getting that right. So what is, anybody remembers, what is it that what is the subject matter of Upanishads?
The knowledge about the highest Brahman, the true self, the reality.
True Brahman. So first important thing is to remember that this is about the teachings of Brahman. And Brahma Vidya we say. So now the first thing to clarify in this is, when we talk about Brahma Vidya, is it just generally about some kind of what we call as God realization or knowing God, as most commonly is put it. So are we just trying to know about God? Brahma Vidya is here, it is not just God realization. So the first importance that Vedanta gives when we say Brahma Vidya, but really it is self-realization, if you really take it. As one of you said, it is actually knowing about the self, because here what happens is, when you know the self, you know Brahman. So the essence of God and the essence of self is the same. So this is the main important teaching that we are trying to learn, that with that self-realization comes that knowledge of Brahman. But it is again right, it is not that God of Saguna. We are not talking about the God of Saguna. So this is, we'll get clarity as we go. But that is the first thing, the subject matter. The second thing is prayojana, the use, the purpose. The purpose of this is to be free from the cycle of birth and death. Samsara nivritti. That is the ultimate purpose. And then the third thing and most important thing is that adhikari, who is qualified to study. And we went through briefly. But see, many times, we say that there is this thing called sadhana chatushtaya. I will not go into that. But the sadhana chatushtaya encompasses things such as viveka, vairagya, shat sampati, mumukshutva, everything, So having that viveka, so not all of us have that ultimate viveka about what is real and unreal, nitya, completely, Nor do all of us have vairagya or complete vairagya, meaning we all have different desires, We are still pursuing. In fact, that sometimes we are coming even for studies, because sometimes some people come, not so much about you, some people come because they want to study so they can become famous, or, like all these many desires are still there, you want to be teachers or go do things. Or sometimes people have some worldly desires, then they will say that I'm not qualified maybe. So some people feel that they're overqualified. Some people feel they're not qualified to study Upanishads. Adhikaratva. So here, when we talk about this, who is qualified, one important thing is there has to be definite interest. That is one point. The second important thing is that as we study this, as we go through these studies, naturally a lot of our unwanted desires will fall away. So this is also an important thing. The qualification is that as we say, is that you're willing to study this, you're willing to go through this. When we understand the reality, a lot of those unwanted, see, there are desires, if you qualify, right? There are one kind of desires which are very noble desires. We want to help others, we want to help the community. These are all noble, good desires. We want to progress, we want to study, we want to improve ourselves. These are good desires. And then there are certain seemingly harmless desires, but things like, I want to be famous, or things like, I want to do a lot of things, not harm others, but just some desires. Then there could be some harmful desires, I want to become the king by dethroning somebody else, or I want to, be the best and defeat everyone. See, these are all negative desires. So there are different kinds of desires. Slowly what happens is when we start learning Upanishads, first our desires will start becoming purer, which start helping us. And then we really understand what is the highest desire, which is that getting this mumukshatva. So two things about adhikaratva. One is that it is almost like a catch-22. They say you're not qualified to learn Upanishads until you're free from all desires. But at the same time, unless you really learn Upanishads, you'll never be free from desires. So this is a thing. So we have to take it that we are qualified. We will do our best. And as we go through the process, naturally our desires will get purified. So this is a better way. Okay. So now then the sambandha, the relation between that, all this, by the study, that qualified person by that study will get that purpose of being free from samsara. Okay, so this is establishing the thing. Okay, establishing the four aspects of the text, which of course Shankaracharya has gone into, and some of us looked into that.